Hello everyone and welcome back to the channel. Guys, have you ever wondered how elite universities like Harvard manage to sit on billions of dollars? Yes, billions, and still operate tax free. Well, former President Donald Trump just shook the education world by suggesting that Harvard should have its tax exempt status revoked in a bold claim, but what does it actually mean? Why is Harvard even tax exempt in the first place? And can a president really take that status away? So, in today's video, we are diving deep into this headline, unpacking what Trump's statement could mean, how tax exemption works for institutions like Harvard, and why this discussion touches on much more than just one Ivy League school. So, whether you are a student, a taxpayer, or just someone trying to make sense of the headlines, this one is for you. Let's get into it. Let's begin with what exactly Donald Trump said. During a recent appearance, Trump criticized Harvard, calling it woke and accusing it of pushing a political agenda that he says is out of touch with everyday Americans. He then suggested it might be time to reconsider Harvard's tax exempt status. Now, this isn't the first time Trump has made the headlines by targeting elite institutions, but this particular comment hit a nerve because it brings attention to something very real and very complicated: the enormous wealth of private universities and the public benefits they receive through tax exemptions. So, what does tax exempt status actually mean? Tax exempt status allows certain organizations to avoid paying federal income taxes. Non-profits, religious institutions, and educational organizations like Harvard often qualify under Section 501(c) of the IRS code. This means they are considered to be serving the public good in some way. In exchange, they don't pay federal income tax. But here is the catch: they are also expected to remain politically neutral and not engage in political campaigning or lobbying. Harvard, with its estimated $50 billion endowment, the largest of any university in the world, has long been at the center of debates about tax privilege. So critics argue that it functions more like a hedge fund with a school attached. That's not just hyperbole. Much of the Harvard's wealth is tied up in investments, and the returns on those investments are also tax free. So when Trump talks about the revoking Harvard's tax exempt status, he is speaking directly to this tension between massive private wealth and the public benefits afforded by the tax law. But the question is, can a president actually revoke that status? Well, not unitarily. The IRS is the agency responsible for granting and revoking tax exempt status. And while a president can certainly influence public debate or even propose the legislation to change how tax exemptions work, they can't simply snap their fingers and take that status away. That being said, Trump's comments could inspire lawmakers, particularly those aligned with him politically, to start asking those tough questions. And if Congress were to pass new laws redefining what qualifies as tax exempt, universities like Harvard could definitely feel the heat. Now, let's talk about the politics. Trump's comments fit into a larger narrative that's been building for the years, one that casts elite academic institutions as out of the touch, ideologically biased, and unfairly privileged. For some Americans, Harvard represents the so called liberal elite. It's not just about the education, it's about culture, power, and influence. So when Trump goes after Howard, it resonates with voters who feel excluded or dismissed by these institutions. But there is another layer as well. Some experts warn that targeting tax exempt status based on perceived political leanings is a slippery slope. If one school leaves its status because it's too woke, what's to stop another from losing it for being too conservative? The tax code wasn't designed to reward or punish ideology. It was designed to support organizations that provide the public benefit. So, any changes to that system would need to be handled very carefully. Meanwhile, Harvard has been mostly silent on Trump's comments, but this isn't new territory for them. In recent years, Harvard and other elite universities have faced increasing scrutiny over their admission practices diversity policies, and use of enormous endowments. In fact, under Trump's administration, the IRS imposed a new tax on the investment income of wealthy universities' endowments, including Harvard's. So, this isn't just the political theater, there are real financial consequences on the line. And then is the big picture. What does this say about the education in America? Trump's statement is part of a larger cultural battle over who controls the knowledge, what values are being taught in classrooms, and how public money, through tax exemptions, is being used to support it. As student debt skyrockets and trust in higher education declines, elite universities are increasingly seen not as pillars of opportunity but as the gated fortress of privilege. Whether that's fair or not, it's clear that the public conversation around higher education is changing. Some believe institutions like Harvard should be more transparent and accountable, especially when they are sitting on endowments larger than the some countries' GDPs. Also, others argue that targeting universities politically could chill the academic freedom and set a dangerous precedent. So, will Harvard lose its tax exempt status anytime soon? Probably not, at least not in the immediate future. But the fact that this conversation is happening at all shows how the ground is shifting. Universities are under a new level of scrutiny, and tax policy is becoming a tool in the broader cultural and political war. So, guys, what do you think? Should elite universities like Harvard continue to enjoy the tax exempt status while sitting on billions of dollars? Or is the Trump right to raise this caution, especially if these institutions are shaping the future of the country with a particular ideological lens? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. I want to hear what guys you think. And if you have enjoyed this deep dive, don't forget to like this video, subscribe to our channel for such amazing deep dives, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss the next one. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Until then, stay informed, stay curious, and keep questioning.